Hello, fellow people of the Earth. I am Derry50 from Computercraft Productions, and today I'm going to be showing you a script I made. It's around 520 lines long. It took me around 4 days to make, not straight 4 days, but going back and forth on it for 4 days. And it's a fairly big program. It's a branch mining program, and it's got a lot of features. Just some of them to name right off the bat is that it can dig from the surface. It recognizes its positions. It refuels itself. It drops off the items. And also it is completely self-obtained. So whenever you log out and log back in, it will restart and know exactly where it is. Requirements to make this is you need a wireless mining turtle, 2 chests. You don't need a disk drive. I'm not sure why I have this. You need a bunch of coal, some fuel. It doesn't have to be coal. It can be any fuel. It can be charcoal, stuff like that. And you also need a bunch of sand and gravel. It's any stuff that you don't want it to mine. You need some of those items. Oh, and you also need a GPS system. So if you don't have a GPS system, you're going to have to get one of those. But anyway, let's go ahead. First of all, I'm going to show you how you actually set this up. Like, if you don't really want to know how the code works and you just want to know how to set it up, I'm going to show you that. And then I'll show you how to use it. So you need, first of all, 2 chests and set them right like that. So you have one in front of the turtle, one that's going to be right in front of the turtle, and then one to the very left of the turtle. Once again, this is a wireless mining turtle, not just a normal mining turtle. So what you want to do is the chest that's right to the left of the turtle, not to the right to the left of the turtle, you're going to want to put a bunch of the fuel that it's going to use in it. So in this case, I'm using coal. So yeah, make sure you keep that filled with fuel, but it will stop if it doesn't have enough fuel. It will, if it runs out of fuel, it always keeps up enough in its storage so that it can get back here and say, oh, I'm out of fuel, please refuel me. Whoops. So don't worry about like it running completely out of fuel and you're having to go down there to get it, because it'll be able to figure itself out. Trust me, I've worked on this for long enough that it is self-obtained way. It's like it just self-obtains itself so much. Like, it can save it, it can get out of really tricky situations, and it's pretty intense. So anyway, to get this program, you're going to want to first do pastebin get, and then here's the pastebin ID. You can also copy it from the link in the description. That is capital M. Well, you can see it if you want to copy it down. So pastebin get that, and then you want to name it branch mine. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you want to change some settings. So go ahead and edit, and then branch mine. One thing it doesn't have is like an interface in which you edit things. You just do it manually, but it's really not that hard. So you do edit and then space branch mine once you've downloaded it, and then you'll see a bunch of comments and stuff you have to do. So this is the Y level that the branch mine's at. So it'll mine down to this level and start branch mining. 5. The thing with the reason I put it at 5, and that's default like that, because one thing this is, another feature I forgot to say earlier, is this is lava proof and waterproof, because it's a turtle. So as long as you don't want to go down there, you can keep it at 5. Let's say you want to mine copper or something, so you put it like 40 or 30, you can do that too. So you can change the level. So I'm going to put that at 10 for now, I guess. Actually I'll put it at 20. No, actually I'll keep it at 5 because I want to show you if we run into lava how that works. Ignore slots. So this is how many blocks on the ignore list that you want to put in the first number of slots in the turtle. So first I'd recommend putting stone. I'm not really sure why you would want it to collect stone. I'm actually going to get 5 of them. I'm going to have 5 ignore slots. So then I'd put dirt, sand, gravel, then sand, because gravel's probably more likely than sand, and then you put cobblestone. It doesn't have to exactly be like this, but it can be whatever you want it to ignore and not mine. So of course you don't want it to mine stone and all this stuff here. Then you just keep those in the ignore slots. It will still mine them when it mines the actual strip mine, but it won't mine them from the sides of the walls when it like strips, or I mean branches. Forget anytime I say strip mine, I always get them confused. And don't worry about this. This is if it's okay for it to mine down anything below you, because it will actually mine all the way down to where it is. So if you have anything below it, it will destroy it. So yeah. Now what you're going to do is edit startup. All right, so this is so that whenever the turtle starts up, like when you log out and log back in, it starts up the program. First of all, you want to do sleep and then 5 or a number. You can do a bit less than that. I like doing 5 just to be sure. And this is just so it gives time for the actual GPS system that we have set up there to restart, like to start up once you log in. And then because otherwise it will, won't be able to figure out where it is, and it will, not work. Then you want to do shell.run, and then in quotes, excuse me. Then in parentheses and quotes, you want to put branch branch mine, or whatever you named it when you downloaded it. So that works. So now if you logged out and logged back in, it would start up automatically. But right now we're going to do that manually, so I'm just going to clear it and do branch mine. Just to run it, you just type in branch mine. Oops, yeah, sorry, you have to put coal in the last slot of the turtle. Remember to do that to start it off. Alright. Yep, it failed. Hold on. Sorry about that. The reason that it failed was because I forgot to put fuel in it, and it like created the files and everything. Don't worry about that. I'll fix that error for the release. It'll still be the same paste bin code. But anyway, I'm gonna fix this again, and I'll set this up again, and I'll show you how it works. That won't happen in your version. That was just a complete mistake. Alright, so anyway, now this is what you'll actually see when you run the program. If I run this, it'll say what its current coordinates are, make sure those are correct, and it will begin strip mining. So as you can see, it's doing that right now. It goes all the way down to the level it's going to mine at, and then it starts doing the process which I'm going to show you. And once this gets, I'll unpause once it gets to the level that it's going to start branch mining it. Alright, so it's just about to get there. There it is. So this is how it works. So it's kind of, what it does is it mines through, and then it turns left and turns right to see if there's any blocks there, because of turtles can only detect blocks that are directly in front of them. So that's why it has to turn to detect the blocks. So pretty much it's detecting if it's stone or not, and then it goes up and down and creates a strip mine, branch mine I mean. So if you're probably wondering, where's the branch? Where does it go into the wall and out? Well, the problem is, in order to make this very, see it just mined that. In order to make this very self-obtained, as you can see, it just mined that too. If it was to mine branches like that, it would be practically impossible to make it self-obtained without using all of the hard drive space on the turtle, which is ridiculous. So this is kind of what it does. What it does is it mines straightforward in one branch, and then if you want to set up other branches, you can simply put another one of these turtles mining one of those programs 2 blocks away from it, so it'd be mining right down like that. And then you'd get all the resources in this area. So that's kind of how it works. So in order to simulate, oh, it almost looks like it's already almost a full inventory. But in order to simulate what would happen if it did have a full inventory, I'm going to do that now. I'll just put some blocks in there. And it would do it instantly, but since I placed blocks in there, it's taking a while. But once it is full, it will return. As you can see, it turned around and goes all the way back up to the chest right here, the 2 chests we have. And if we wait for it to come up here, what it'll do is it'll deposit all of its items in this chest, and then it'll take any fuel it can from this chest. So I'm not sure why I put a stacks of the ignore items in the first slot. That was kind of stupid, but yeah, don't do that. And you can see it deposits all of its items in there, and then it gets any fuel it needs. So I'm going to take out, oops. Well, yeah, don't do that one. Don't put stacks of the items in the first slot. So I'm going to take out like as much as I can, because that would fill up really quickly then. But yeah, that's just that's just me being stupid. But yeah, that's what the turtle does. And let me just show you what happens if you log out and log back in. So we'll look at it as it's doing this. That's simulate if it was like to if it was looking right, what would happen? So I'm gonna put hold on. I'm gonna put some gold ore there so it like pauses there. All right. Now I'm gonna save and quit. All right. So my game actually just crashed there, and the world got corrupted. So I'm sending it down there again. It's a wonderful time for that to happen right on video, but you know how it is. So it is going down there, and just to show you how it returns, the return system, I want to wait for it to get down there so I can show you this. So let's say it's in the middle of branch mining. It's gotten down there. It's restarting the branch mines. As you can see, it's not going all the way to the end. But anyway, I'm going to show you how this works. So if I was to log out, I'm going to pause the video because I think that was the reason it crashed. All right, so I've logged back in, and there it is. And it should restart, figure out which way it's facing, which it was facing to the right, so it was like, oh, okay, I should turn back to the left, so it did. And then what it'll do is, since it's like you've logged back in, it'll actually return to the surface, because although it saves its position and everything, it doesn't know if it's about to run out of fuel or anything, so just to be sure, it goes back to the surface, deposits its items, gets out any fuel it needs, and goes back down there, kind of resetting itself. But I think it's good in the fact that it actually is able to start when the game starts up. That's good enough, I think. So anyway, yeah, once it does that, it'll go back down there, and it also remembers its position in the strip mine and all that. Like, everything is saved except for, like its fuel level and that stuff. So that's why it goes back to the surface. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the code now, as this is mining away. Alright, so now we're going to go over the code. So if you are not really interested in watching the code, you know how it works, then you can, move from this. Yeah, I've already showed you how it works. If you have any questions, you can comment, and I'll be sure to answer them as quick as I can. But I'm going to show anyone who's interested how the code actually works. So yeah, here we have the Y level, the branch mine at, ignore slots, and the boolean to make sure if it's okay to mine down. And this is default set to true, and here for some reason I have it set to false, but yeah. Alright, so now to get started, we have these three tables of functions. Each one of these tables has functions. So as we can see, move is the first one, MOV, abbreviated move. Move.forward and move.back, move.up, move.down, move.place. These are all functions saved in that table, and pretty much it detects if there's a block, and then it says if go forward, and if not, it'll mine it. Or no, it won't. It won't do that. That's another function, but it'll wait until it can go forward and then go forward. So that's kind of how that works. It's different than the turtle.forward in the way that it waits while it's going forward. It waits until it goes forward, and it doesn't just try and then stop. So that's why I made that. And then we also have the rotations here, so it rotates right. And this is how it records which rotation position it's in. So if it's forward, then it sets it to right. If it's left, then it sets it to forward. This is if it's rotating to the right. And the same with the left position here. And then it writes that line to the file called branch mine data, which is the file that saves everything to do with the turtle, so that when it starts up again, it knows everything. Well, not everything, but position and thing and stuff like that. So this is dig, and this pretty much tries to dig forward, up, down, and Anyway, yeah, dig move forward, dig move up, and dig move down. These three functions pretty much combine the dig forward and the move forward. So pretty much it says, so if you can't move forward, dig forward, then wait, and then dig move forward again. The reason it's dig move forward again and not just move forward is because let's say there's gravel. Let's say we can't move forward because there's gravel there, so we dig forward and then we wait because of the gravel falling. Let's say there's a pile of gravel, and then it tries the same thing again until it's able to get through that pile of gravel and get over there. That's kind of how that works. And the same thing with these three things here, the same idea, these three functions. So now we can begin the branch mining code. So this is opening the red net on the right side so that it can get the GPS location. And then we have all the stuff here is about reading files. So this is all thanks to a bunch of people on the Computercraft forum. And there's not really one person that created this. We all work together kind of to create this. Yeah, you can feel free to use any code from my program. I'm giving full rights to use any code from my program for anything you want. I mean, I'd like it if you gave credit. For something like this, you can't really give credit because so many people work together to create this together. We were all having problems, and we all edited until we got rid of all the errors, and then we got this. So this is pretty much saving files, writing and reading lines to a file. And the difference between this and the simple IO edit is this you can select a line number and write a line or read a line from that line number. So that's how it's different. So here we have file write line and file read line. These ones will read if you give the file name, then you give the line number, it'll return the string of that exact line from the file. And this works by using tables. And these tables are from when the file is opened and when it is saved using a table. And the table represents all the lines in the string, and here that's T lines. And here's the refuel function, so pretty much it gets to a fuel level, and if it's less than 10, then it selects the 16th slot and it refuels. So that's how that works. Now, the reason it's 10 is because that's enough fuel to get it back to the surface if it runs completely out of fuel. So that's how that works. So this is to mine to the branch mining level. So this is how it gets its locate position. This 5 here is how long it takes until it times out from the GPS. And here, if mine down is set to true, so that's that function we had up there, or not a function, Boolean we had up there, which is setting if it's okay for it to mine straight down and break anything beneath it. So if well, I don't really have to go through every single line of this, but pretty much it will mine straight down if it moves down, if it has to mine down, but if it also is able to mine up, if so pretty much just mine down also means mine up by you know what I mean. Anyway, it's able to mine up if you set the branch mining level to be above the Y level of what you currently have it set at, so it can do that. That's compatible. It doesn't always have to be mining straight down. So then it will try to move forward for every time position in the branch mine. So this position in branch mine is pretty much equal to whatever position we currently are forward. And up here, as you can see, it's set to 0 by default. And then tunnel length is how much it'll go forward until you want it to stop. So right now we have the tunnel length that's 1,000. And the reason I have this limit is because eventually you'll go out of chunk range, so it will no longer be rendered. So that's why I have that, so you can change that to whatever you want to. So then we have local function deposit chest, and pretty much what this does is this function deposits things into the chest, and selects the slots and drops. Turtle.drop means to, like put what drop item in front of the turtle, and in that case it would be the chest, so it drops it right into the chest. All right, get coal chest. This rotates the turtle to the left, and get coal chest also means get fuel chest. I just, I was using coal, of course, when I made this. And then what it does is it selects slot 15 of the turtle's inventory, and then sucks whatever fuel is out of that chest. Which, by the way, make sure you use the same fuel. You can't use different fuels. It's not compatible with different types of fuels. I'm not sure if that'll be a feature later, but right now it's not a planned feature. And what it'll do is it'll compare whatever it just sucked out of the chest to slot 16 of the turtle, which is the fuel slot. And if it compared and it returned true from the compare, which means it is the same, it'll transfer that fuel to slot 16 until it's full, and then it'll drop that fuel back into the chest. So pretty much it fills up the fuel slot to 64 or whatever it can, and then it drops the fuel back into the chest if there's any left after that. So it ends up having a full stack of whatever fuel you're using. Then it rotates back right and continues. So this is return false if it didn't manage to get the fuel. Local function return back. Now this is a big one. This one pretty much will return the turtle to its location, back to the chest. So first of all, it'll get the GPS position. It'll rotate right twice, so it's facing backwards, and that sets the rotating position to backward. And then it saves as the file just in case at this exact place is when you log out of the game, so it's compatible at any time that you log out of the game. And then the distance is equal to 0. That's this right here. This part here tries to find which location you need to move in on the X or Z axis using the start X and start Z position, which is where the chest position is. Not the Y position, but where the chest position is X and Z. And then it will try and see which one to use, and it will check whatever distance it is. And then for that amount of distance, it will move or dig forward that amount. And then it will rotate left twice, set the rotate position to forward, write that to a line, and then get the locate position again, and then start moving up. So this right here is checking if you have to go down or up, once again, because it's compatible with both. And then it'll move down or up that amount. And right here, I actually should set this up so it digs up or down if there's any, problem. But I don't think that'll really be a thing. That'll be a problem, unless you actually placed a block there. But I can do that anyway. I could set it up so that, it mines up or mines down to that location. I don't know. I might do that. I'll think about it. So, and then it'll deposit any items into the chest is where that deposit chest is called, and then it'll get coal chest. So this is the reason this is an if is because it returns true or false, and if it's false and it can't refuel, it'll say out of fuel and then no fuel in chest program, and then no fuel in chest, and then I'll put a comma there, and then it'll return, which means the program stops. So if it did, then it will return to mine, and this is where the mine to mine program is called, which is mines all the way down and does that stuff. And then start mining, which is a function we're going to get to. And then it'll say return to mine to mine, start mining. That's if it, didn't even go through that. Yeah. So this stuff here, this will, what does this do? Oh yeah, this checks. This checks if the block in front is any ignored item, and the same with down and up. Check ores level 1. These are the different like ways it moves. Pretty much it's just programmed movement of how it like checks all the items, checks all the blocks around it. So that's how that works. And then this is inventory full. This is checked every time it mines to check if the inventory is full, and if it's full, it will return back. So that's how it works. And this is the big start mining function. This gets called when you want to start, it actually starts mining. It's at the level required and it starts mining. And this is a for loop, and it's blocks till end. So blocks till end is equal to tunnel length minus the position and branch mine. So that's kind of how that works, and it runs, continuously. So if refuel equals false, it'll say out of fuel, and it will turn back. The same way with inventory full. Dig move forward is something that's called if called first. So dig move forward is that one that digs and then moves forward as many times as it can, and then it'll get forward one block. And then this is if it's level 2. If it's level 2, it'll check ores level 1 and then check ores level 2 after it moves up. So that's kind of how that works. That's if it's not level 2. This is if it is level 2. And it keeps setting this boolean to true or false, so it knows what level it is on the branch mine, if it's on like the ground level or the ceiling level. And this is where the program actually gets launched. So after it goes through all that loading, sorry about that pop-up, it'll get to here, and this will check if there's a branch mine data file saved. And if there is, then it will it'll read those files, and it'll read everything from that file and then start. But if it isn't, then it will create that file so that it's able to write and then able to read that when you restart. So that's kind of how that works. And then we have fuel count, which pretty much checks the fuel. Yeah, that's at the end of this part here. So yeah, that's my big branch mine program. It's 526 lines right now. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. It took me a long time, and it's pretty functional. Still a few bugs I have to, iron out, but if you do have any bugs, be sure to comment them or leave a post on the Computercraft page that I'm going to be creating for this. And I'll be able to try and fix those as quick as I can and get the code back out to you. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.